Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday community call. My name is Arin and we are the Visionary Leaders. We gather here every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and for 30 minutes, we talk about our beloved essential oils and the amazing wellness products that doTERRA offers to all of us. In the second half of the call, for 30 minutes, we talk about sharing these products, earning an income, getting your products paid for, and creating some residual income. So we have lots of fun here. We're so glad if you could join us live on Zoom. Say hello if you're on Zoom. If you're on Facebook.
You don't have to have me crank my neck to talk to you.
I'm going to mute everybody. Hold on. If you're on Facebook, say hello. And if you're listening to the replay, you are probably tuning in through our podcast. So if you didn't know, we put this up as a podcast on all podcast channels and YouTube. You can always find it streamed on Facebook, so all the places. Make sure you are signed up for our weekly email because we send out the recording. We put in different protocols that we've talked about. You definitely want to be on that email, and you can get access to it by going to hellovisionary.life. That is our community website. There will be a pop-up for you to sign up for the email list. So today we are talking about creating habits with the essential oils and the doTERRA products. And before we dive into that chat, Aisha is going to guide us through a meditation. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Aisha.
Thank you so much, Arin. Hello and welcome to everybody. Since we're talking about ritual today, rather than choosing one oil and telling you all about it, I wanted you to tap into your intuition and choose the oil that's calling you right now in this present moment. So it might be something that you use on a daily basis, or if you have oils in front of you, or if you have one, like a little travel case, I want you just to open it up. And I just want you to grab the oil that's calling to you. And I'd love to know what oil you're using. Maybe you can just hold it up in the window or put it in the chat. A lot of you we can't actually see, so you can put the oil in the chat. And then once you have your oil, go ahead and open up your oil. I'm using MetaPWR today, and rub the oil on the palms of your hands, or you can drop some oil into your hands. And then let's all collectively just rub our hands together and close our eyes. And rub your hands together just so you're creating just even a little bit of friction between the palms of the hands. And then separate the hands just a tiny little bit and feel the energy created between the palms of the hands, especially with that beautiful oil between your palms. And then bring the palms up to your nose and take 3 long, deep inhalations. Just inhale, hold the breath in just for a moment, and when you're ready, exhale. And then again, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And now take a moment and just ask your oil what message it has for you. And just continue to take long, deep breaths and just notice if you feel a feeling, if you see an image. If you see nothing, that's okay too. Just be in the feeling of it. And then ask your body, what part of your body would like this oil to be applied? And when you get the answer, just take your hands and rub your hands on whatever part of the body is calling to you. And then when you're complete, just bring your hands to your heart. Just taking a few more long, deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And Arin, I'm going to pass the call back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. I loved connecting with birch. I'm one of those oil hoarders. So when there's an oil that we can't just buy whenever, although that's changing with birch, isn't it? Or it already has. Can we get birch now?
No.
Not yet, but isn't that coming? Yeah. So
no. Are you
I-
telling us something juicy, Arin?
I feel like we're getting birch soon. I bet it'll happen at convention.
Hey,
But
on
I
that
line,
is that the only little bird whisper we've heard about convention?
I have heard some, well, we have discovered, like we have now a source for birch, which was always the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that now that we have a source for birch, we're going to have it on a more regular basis.
Okay. I guess I
don't
was
know I don't have any details.
of anything else. Like I started realizing, I'm like, I haven't
Oh,
heard
there
any
is
little
was a
whisperings about
clue.
anything. Like I have no idea what's coming down the pike at convention. Does anybody?
Didn't Emily put some kind of clue out on her Instagram or something? I feel like it's related to digestion, but yeah.
No. So yeah, we all have to start watching Emily on Instagram, right?
Mhm.
Because she starts bringing clues about now.
She does little sneak peeks.
Yeah.
And by the way, on the note of convention, we are solidifying our team party, and we are going to need your RSVPs for that. So I will be making an Eventbrite soon, and it'll just be important because we have a special fun food surprise, and it's going to require that we know an exact number of people coming. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited. So today we are talking about creating habits and rituals with the essential oils in your products. And we thought it would be fun to have everybody kind of share some of their hacks around this. And one of the things that Aisha pointed to, which I think sometimes we take for granted and assume, but if you're newer to oils or doTERRA, you might not have this set up yet. And it is, Aisha said, her little bag. Can you show us your bag, Aisha? Yes. So if you're a true oiler, you have a little bag at all times with you, right? Is there anyone on here that hasn't found their little bag yet? And if you do have your little bag, could we kind of put it in the chat or even speak through what are some of the oils you carry, like your must-haves with you all the time? I will start. I always have frankincense. I always have Copaiba. And the reason I have those two is they're really versatile. I can use them for first aid, for anxiety, for stress. If my neck hurts, just everything. I always have CorrectX in my bag. I always have the doTERRA chapstick in my bag. I like to make sure that I've got like tea tree is a good one to carry around. And I like to carry around helichrysum because if anybody gets a bloody nose or has a scrape, helichrysum stops the bleeding. And I always, can you guess, have MetaPWR all the time. What's in your bag at all times, Aisha?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to tell you all, so I've been traveling for Europe for 2 months, and I brought what I thought would be enough MetaPWR oil, and I've ran out. And so now I know it's time to come home because I'm like panicking that I've ran out of my MetaPWR. But I want to really, I mean, I have a lot in my bag and I'm not going to go over all of it, but I do want to shout out a couple of oils that while I have been traveling have been lifesavers. And one of them is the Supermint. And for so many reasons. One, Athens was hot, like crazy hot. And if you're anywhere that's hot, and we're going into the summer season, putting some of this on the back of your neck can be an absolute lifesaver. It's also amazing for nausea, which can happen while traveling. And then yesterday I was at a dinner party and I had a horrid stomach ache. And so I went down to the bathroom and I rubbed it all over my belly. I put it under my tongue, and then I ordered some hot water and I made a Supermint tea. And by the mid-dinner, I was totally back to normal. But it was like such a lifesaver in that moment. And so if some of the days I've gone out, I have my whole bag, but if I'm trying to keep things really, really light, I'll have Supermint on me and then the MetaPWR, because the MetaPWR, as we know, balances the blood sugar. It's good when you're tired. It's incredible for jet lag. Like, it's just good. It helps with the cravings. Not only that, I've been sharing it with all of Europe. I'm standing on the top of the Parthenon, screaming to all of Athens about how they need MetaPWR. I'm just kidding, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So if you have not, and also you can do peppermint as well, but I've been really enjoying the Supermint blend, and it's also been a really fun one to share. And then I'm also traveling with the beadlets and the roller. I have it in all three forms. So like if I could only take 2 oils with me, it might be the Supermint and the MetaPWR, like if I had to really pare it down. So I would love to hear what is in other people's bags as well, so I won't take up all the time. So I'll leave you with those 2.
We have some fun, some stuff in the chat. Hi,
Yes,
this is
we've
Dr.
got, you
Josie.
want me to read it for you, Josie, or?
No, I'll read it. Yeah. So we have someone has adaptive, peppermint, and digest zen.
That's good
So I
combo.
like that. I like adaptive for all things kind of mood. And then you got the peppermint and the digest zen, like this Supermint, but all digestive things. Yes, Maria is holding all of them up. So she has got the adaptive touch roller. The rollers are fantastic for carrying around with you. And I might do a shout out, y'all, whenever they do these little floral things like the Mother's Day gifts and everything like that, and they just did it in the BOGO where you got the little baby 4-ounce frankincense guy, right? Those are fantastic for carrying around with you. So hoard those and save those bottles because those are so great for the purse. I like to, before I know I'll wax a little here as I'm sometimes do, but you guys, what I love to do in these moments and teach is about breaking down blends. When we think about like, what are our favorite things? And if you could only have 1 or 2, or what do you bring around with you when you got your purse and you don't want it to be super heavy, or your little bag and you got to make choices? Why do you make those choices? And this is how I expanded and learned about essential oils. I had studied classical Western herbs in naturopathic school, but I never studied essential oils. So I started learning about them by just looking at the blends. And the blends are easy. Digest Zen. I wonder what that's about. Right? I'm like, okay, this must be a digestion blend. So I looked at all the herbs that are in there and was like, okay, let me look up each of these and have an idea of why they're putting them together. But when you get other blends that aren't as obvious, like DDR or past tense, right? And you start to look at them and see, that's what really helps you in these breakdowns of like how you can use oils, blends in many different ways. Because we talk about, right? All of us, we're like, well, you could use DDR this way and this way and this way and that way, or you could use, and you start to see the commonalities. And I love blends like Aroma Touch and Past Tense, because I feel like they're like a big old kitchen sink in a sense. And they're very similar blends. They only differ by about 2 oils. aroma, touch, and past tense. But you can use them almost like a Swiss Army knife, like the way we talk about lavender and frankincense, which are both in both of those blends. But you can use them then in that way, kind of like first aid. You can use them in so many different ways, and that's a good thing to know when you carry around a blend like that. You can use it. What do they call that? Off label, basically. Anyways, so sorry.
Yeah. A good one like that too is Immortelle.
Exactly.
Sarah just pointed out, like you could do so much with Immortelle, and it's
so much, right?
And if you don't want to carry around like the big heavy, I tend to throw 10 oils in, right?
Right.
If you don't want to do that, you can do the little keychains and make your little drams.
Sorry, so people mentioned OnGuard. We forgot that one. That's a big one. I like to, in medicine, they call DDX, differential diagnosis. I like to DDX the things, like I just said, pretty similar is aroma, touch, and past tense. You know what else is kind of similar? OnGuard and MetaPWR. There's a lot of overlap there. And so kind of like know what's different and what's the same. The same is the cinnamon and the citrus oils. And then the difference is, the difference in MetaPWR is you got the peppermint and, ginger. Ginger's in both of them. And ginger, whereas you got clove in OnGuard. So it's like you just kind of, and then you start to see, oh, right, if I want ginger peppermint, I go this way to MetaPWR. If I want more clove, I go this way towards OnGuard. Does that start to make sense? And you start to sort of see those differences. Copaiba, we mentioned that. That's a huge one, right? Adaptive pills, Immortelle. People are saying, deep blue, past tense, frankincense, lavender, breathe, all these.
So that's one aspect of setting up habits with the oils, is to make sure you've got your bag, that you're taking them with you everywhere you go. The other thing that is great to do is to have usage stations. So the oils that you're going to put on your feet before bed should live at your bedside table. The oils that you're going to put in your water or take with your supplements should be at your water station. Your skin oils would be in your bathroom cabinet. Does anybody else have some usage station ideas or things that they've figured out? Yeah, Aisha.
Well, you should definitely have a little kit in your car. I think that's really important. And as far as the usage stations go, I want to touch on a point that I believe Dr. Josie, we can give her credit for this. And we've been saying this now for 13 years. So will be a reminder for many of you, and it might be new for some of you, but that is the importance of using your oils daily and small, frequent daily doses. And the reason why is because you are going to get a much more of a benefit, and you're really going to see like more lasting, life-changing results when you use them on a regular basis. So I see so many people like get their oils and just have, one in one place, but then that keeps them from using it throughout the day. So don't deprive yourself of oils, and that's why, like, if you're a MetaPWR junkie like me, I have one by my bed. I have one in the kitchen. I have one in my purse. I have one in the car. I have one in the backpack. So I always have an oil with me. Now, you don't have to do that with all of them, but it will really help you. So when you're going about your busy day, you don't have to worry about whether or not you brought that oil. And that's too why, like, if you don't have a little travel pouch, these oils are on me all of the time, wherever I go, always. I just go to the grocery store, they're in my bag. And there have been so many times that there have been emergencies or something happens that I'm so grateful that I can pull it out in that moment. So it's like kind of pre-planning, and then you make all of your oil stations. But the great thing about that is after you do that, you don't have to think about it anymore.
And I think it was Dr. Mika that had this great idea, which is if you're working with any of the Symphony of the Cells. So give a little like heart or emoji if you love Symphony of the Cells. If you've never heard of Symphony of the Cells, it's a various protocols developed by Boyd Truman for various issues like hormone support, immune support, mood support, etc. So I think it was Dr. Mika. She said she makes bags of each protocol. So like personally, I'm going through perimenopause right now. I haven't done it yet, but I keep going, oh, I need to make a little bag of the Symphony of the Cells hormone protocol. So it's really easy for me to every night before bed or whenever I'm going to do it, just quickly do that hormone protocol. But if you're getting over a sickness or you're working with mood management, maybe you would make your little Symphony of the Cells protocol. And by the way, somebody asked me, can't I just put all the Symphony of the Cells in a roller bottle and just apply them that way? And it's not the same. The process of layering, when you layer oils, that means you're putting one on and then another and then another. It is doing something different in your body than if you make a blend. When you make a blend, you're creating new chemistry and the blend does something, which is great. But when you layer, they're going deeper and deeper into your body and they have a different result. So Symphony of the Cells is meant to be a layering approach, not put in a roller bottle.
Arin, here's Dr. Mika and I did some, it's great now during the summer on the places like Aroma Tools, and they go on sale and they'll have sales for little bags and things. And that's when I bought a bunch of these, and they really like $2 to $3 each. And so if you guys can see this, see how it goes like this. This is 4 by 4. So that's what you have to, when you're looking at it, always think of like, how big is the one? And this is a cute bedside one. And so really this will hold 2 symphonies, because a symphony is about 8 to 9 oils. One of the hacks we like to teach is create a thing of your carrier oil with frankincense in it. So already have your carrier oil, and I just get an empty bottle, and then I'll mix in an amount like 20% frankincense. And so that's my starter one that I use. I go through it a lot, but I use. And so then the rest of, if you start with that and the frankincense, pretty much you have 8 oils in a symphony. And so you could fit 2 symphonies in one and then 2 here. Or then I have a next bigger box that is 8 by 4. So I have 4 symphonies in a row, and then I have those. And they're incredible. Your usage factor goes so much higher when you actually have the symphony and you have them living here and it's by your bed and it's easy. And then you also have the pre-prepared frankincense with the carrier oil. I will do it. And you guys, it takes less than 5 minutes. I just do it on my feet, my low back, and the back of my neck. And I go like that and I go through it, and it's under 5 minutes. And do it in bed, watching my Netflix, like whatever. I do it in the sauna. Every time I take a sauna, I begin it. Anyone who saunaed with me, you know, we're going to be doing a symphony on the feet in the sauna.
Jose, I just want to add to that's such an important point, that if you have the symphonies made up, you're more likely to do them than if you have, you take out those oils and then you put them back with all of your oils and you have to get them out.
Oh, yeah.
That is too much work. I also, for anybody in Portland, I want to take this opportunity to let you know that we're going to have a few backyard gatherings for anybody on our team. The events are listed on our Essential Wellness page under events, and we're going to teach how to do self-symphonies, because it doesn't necessarily need to be something where you have a massage table and it takes an hour and it's this whole thing and you need somebody else to do it for you. We really want to empower you to do this on yourself and share it with your family And or if you're not in Portland and you're working on growing your own business, this is a really great way to have an event, is to make up the symphonies, and they'll fit in one of these bags. Have your friends over, and then just literally get them out and put them on the back of, or the bottoms of the feet, like Josie said, on the back of the neck, and make it a social event. It's a really, really lovely way to connect with one another and to also connect with the oils.
Yes, and on that same symphony note, have you ever gotten sick, or somebody in your house gets sick with a tummy thing or a respiratory thing or a cold thing, and you're just so sick that you stop using oils because it's like too hard to go to your oil box? So if you have your infectious disease, your respiratory, and your digestive symphonies ready in a little bag, it is so easy to ask your partner or your kid to just say, oh, can you get me that bag? And then you're way more likely to do it. We just got the norovirus at our house. It was horrible, but I laid in bed and did digestive protocol a couple times a day when I had that virus. And I know that it's so helpful for that. I think it's worth taking the time to make those little symphony care packages. And just a little business tip, we're going to move into business soon, but I like to throw these in. When you're working with people, right? When I first introduced people to the idea of a Symphony of the Cells, and they look at all the oils they have to buy, sometimes there's like sticker shock. I think if you wanted to do the hormone protocol, you're going to have to invest almost $400 in oils. So what you can do, especially if you have the extra oils on hand, is you could make them a keychain set of the symphony, and you could sell it to them for a fraction of what it would cost. It'll give them the feeling of, oh, this is what it's like to do this. And it can help people, especially in this economy, inch into the idea of investing in oils. And it can also help you if you're overstocked at some point, which I know can happen sometimes with people. So just wanted to throw that idea out there. I think we have time for one or two more habit, oil, habit, supplement, habit things. So is there one that somebody else wants to share? Another way that you incorporate these habits into your life? What do you guys do to make sure you're taking your LLV? Oh, go ahead, Florence.
Okay, I'll share. I love this doTERRA supplement box, and it's always in my purse. And I have the MetaPWR Assist in there and the MetaPWR soft gel. So I'm never without. And then I carry the deep blue polyphenols and the Copaiba in there. I also carry OnGuard and Terrazine. I'm sorry, I'm looking at myself while I was telling you. But this is a game changer. And it's not that, I mean, it's pretty compact and it's absolutely perfect. I had an example yesterday where I went to a family gathering and we were getting ready to eat, and it was, a little bit more than what I normally kind of eat food. And so I went and got my MetaPWR Assist. And I casually made a comment. I said, and I won't mention names, I said, did you take your MetaPWR Assist? Oh, I didn't bring it. I'm thinking, girl, you need to carry it with you. You need to have, I don't put the whole bottle in here. I just put 3 or 4 or 5, but I always have them. And I truly believe if you have it with you, you're going to be success. You're going to have success. So that's what, and then I also carry a bag in my purse, and my purse is a little heavy. I'll admit that, but I always have oil to put in my water. And then a lot of times if I have a chai, I'll add Copaiba to it, and turmeric, both. I love that. So, and then I have a little first aid bag too. So that I have the roll-ons in it. I have frankincense and melaleuca or tea tree, and the little bottle of frankincense, like Dr. Josie was talking about. So, yeah.
So you have a Mary Poppins bag, don't you?
I am a walking Yeah, a walking.
I want to add a tip on top of Florence. This is actually a tip I learned from Dr. Josie.
Yeah.
Were you going to share it? Do you
Yeah.
wanna
So,
share it? Okay,
well, sure.
so-
Aisha's holding up the bottle, the little assist bottle, so little and cute. It's kind of made for carrying around in your purse. I thought. I was like,
okay, I just want to show you all. Okay, this is the purse I'm traveling with all
that's
through
pretty
Europe.
small.
It's tiny,
Yeah.
and this goes everywhere with me.
This goes. And so what I
And-
did is we
Yes,
combined the assist and the MetaPWR gel caps in there. So you're carrying both of them in that little bottle around with you everywhere you go.
And then the other thing, if you're traveling, we're having a little travel theme today, is I'm traveling with the LLV sachets, and they're incredible. I counted them out, 2 per day for my entire trip. I throw them in my purse, super easy, super easy. And also the adaptive. I have a bottle of adaptive in my purse too.
Oh, yes. Oh, so there's one question coming from Kara, which I'd love to address before we move on. She's asking, can we talk about the whole MetaPWR system and how you use all the products in conjunction? So beadlets, capsules, powder packs, all of that. So that's always a good thing to review. And let's talk about this as it relates to habits. So if you are under 60 years of age, it's advised that you take the advantage, that's the powder, in the morning. So personally, I have my advantage sachets in a mason jar on my counter next to my coffee pot and my water. And first thing, I wake up first thing, and the first thing I drink, the first thing I do is my MetaPWR. And I do like a tiny bit of water, just enough to get it mixed up, because I kind of want to shoot it down. It's not something I personally like to sip on. Then I'm going to do a few drops of the MetaPWR oil under my tongue as I drink my first glass of water, because it kind of wakes me up. I like that. Then I do the rest of my morning routine, which does not include eating right away, because I have some coffee, brush my teeth, do all that stuff. The assist, you take about 20 minutes before you're going to eat the MetaPWR assist, your meal. And there's 2 ways to go about this. You can do 1 assist a day before your heaviest meal, like your most carbs. But some people, myself included, actually take an assist with every meal. And you can go up to as much as 3 assists per meal, depending on your goals, your body, what you tolerate. I will say for some people, the assist has a little tiny bit of a like digestive balancing that happens. I personally got a lot of gas when I first started it. So you do want to ease up to the assist. The MetaPWR soft gels, you can take with your regular supplements if you want to. I personally like the oil the best. So I tend to do the drops under my tongue. So I don't really order the soft gels. My husband prefers the soft gels. And then the beadlets are meant for you to throw in your bag or your purse to pop as needed. And they're really nice if you have an upset stomach, or if you have allergies, or if you just need your breath freshened. They're not a full drop. They're just a little bit, so you kind of use them however you want. And then the gum is if you're having a craving, chew some gum instead. But I will say that I have found if I'm having a craving or I'm feeling hungry, but it's not time to eat, an extra advantage sachet helps me. So sometimes I do 2 advantage a day, especially if I'm hitting a wall. If I hit that like 3 p.m., oh my God, I want a cookie, I want chocolate, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I will go, you know what, I'm going to have an advantage. And for me, it curbs that craving, and it kind of gives me a little extra boost for the rest of my day. Kara, did you want to ask a question? You had your hand up. You have to unmute, Kara, if you wanted to say something.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm the newbie here, so I'm learning
Welcome.
this stuff. So I work knock shift, so my leading schedule is totally opposite of most people. And I usually take it at night before I go to work because I'm hungry during the shift, but I don't eat a lot. I usually snack. What would you recommend regarding like during the day I do when I'm sleeping, but then I wake up around 4 because I get home around 8. What would you recommend I do like after I get up for that?
So you work all night, you come home, you sleep, and you wake up at 4 p.m. and then go back to work at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're doing is wise,
Mhm.
Okay.
taking
Okay.
it before work. I would just treat it as though waking up at 4 p.m. is your morning. Josie,
Okay.
do you have any?
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
I just want to add one thing. Are you taking the MetaPWR oil throughout the day?
Yes.
Do you take it first thing when you wake up in the morning?
Usually I wake up a few times, use the bathroom and stuff, but I usually wake up first time around 12. And
Okay.
then I put some drops in, and then I'll wake up usually 3 times during the day. And that's when I have it right next to my bed and I use it.
Perfect. Yeah, I was going to say, because you're on that kind of wonky sleep schedule, for anybody, if you wake up and you're feeling like a little extra groggy or not quite awake or really tired, I mean, I know not everybody loves the MetaPWR oil, but I find putting it directly under my tongue, even if you just do 1 or 2 drops, can really very quickly help wake you up. It helps balance your blood sugar. Like, I think it gives you the fastest result. And so using that right when you're waking up in the morning would probably be very helpful. And I mean, on a side note, it's also really great to take before you work out, or as Arin was saying, if you're feeling that crash during the day, the MetaPWR oil can be a real lifesaver.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
Sarah's pointing out that she uses the greens or the fiber for 3 p.m. craving. And yes, those are great. I like to mix them together too.
I'll also add that if you stay on the MetaPWR regularly, you should get to the point where you don't actually have cravings anymore. And you'll find that you just, you might want that ice cream because you just want to enjoy it, but that's different than wanting it because you're craving it.
Yeah. And the consistency with, you're talking about MetaPWR oil, right?
Well, the whole
The
system.
whole thing, true. For me, the MetaPWR oil, if I want to be consistent with it, there has to be one at my coffee water station and there has to be one in my bag.
Yeah.
When I only have one bottle, then I fall off because it's not always with me.
Yes. I mean,
I agree.
And I'll just add while we're talking about that, and then I know we need to move to business, but just so everybody knows, you can take up to 25 drops of the MetaPWR oil per day. Now, if you're new, we don't recommend that you start with that, but that would be like 5 drops 5 times a day. And if you really want to optimize like the fat shrinkage from MetaPWR, also taking that extra oil is going to help increase glutathione in your liver, which helps with your body's detoxification process. And then also, I'm just going to share, this is my personal experience, but this is the oil that really helped me shift 3 years of insomnia. So if you have sleep issues, really working on getting your whole metabolic system working more properly is going to really help with your sleep cycle. And MetaPWR, the advantage, also helps with the deep sleep cycle. So just so you know, like if you're just taking a beadlet here and there, or if you're on the MetaPWR system and you're like, oh, I'm still having cravings, then I would definitely really up the use of the oil. And if you don't like the drops under the tongue, you can take the gel caps, but then just take more of them throughout the day.
And by the way, MetaPWR testimony, these are brand new glasses. And guess what happened? my eyesight got better.
Woo!
Yay! So
Wow.
I'm almost a year now on MetaPWR, and eyesight is better. It's super, super cool. I'm ready for the gray hair to go away. You've been hearing about that. Once my streak goes away, I'll let you know.
I just wanted to, are we going to wrap up this portion of the call?
Yeah.
And kind of say, I think there's been so much great wisdom and sharing, but part of the take home for people who are newer is, the wisdom is in the details. As the devil is, the wisdom is. And these ways of incorporating and making into routine, ritual, habit, all of these, because everyone is like, wow, there's a lot. There's supplements, there's oils, and bringing it in and making it your own in your life. Part of that is in these little things, and it's fun. You get to go and go to aromatools.com, go to some of these other places, or Amazon, or wherever, or Target, but buy the cute bags, get the things that are the containers that are going to help you be consistent. And as you hear, like Aisha, Arin, myself, all of us sort of saying, you're going to want to have different places. You're going to have a MetaPWR oil in your purse for sure. All three of us are like, that is one of the ones that you carry around, and then also somewhere in your kitchen, and maybe somewhere up in your bathroom, so that you have it when you first wake up. And you can always save old bottles and then divide a new bottle in half, right? And so then you have half down in the kitchen, half down up in the bedroom, bathroom, and then another one with you in your purse. So start learning these ways of the incorporation of making it your own, but also we're giving you these kind of little expert hacks of this is how you really make it work.
Yeah, so good. Yay. So we're gonna switch over into sharing these products so that you can make an income. You can get your products paid for. You might be saying right now, well, like, whoa, it's a lot to spend on having all of these products. And I'm going to offer you a couple of mindset shifts. It is a lot to spend, but what's even more expensive is the health issues that can be produced by not taking your health into your own hands. So believe me, I love to save money. I love to be frugal, but that's what I really think about is, oh, I'm spending this money every month on these supplements and this advantage and these oils so that I don't have the bigger healthcare costs in the long run. And then also doTERRA gives us the opportunity to earn commissions by sharing, to be an affiliate, to be a wellness advocate. And that can be a way that you have your healthcare paid for, your wellness care. Let's call it wellness care paid for. So this is why it's really worth it to stick around for the second half of these calls, so you can learn a little bit of strategy, so you can be earning some income from doTERRA. So this whole month we've been talking about social selling. And on Tuesday, tomorrow at, oh gosh, I forgot the time of my webinar. I think it's 5:30 p.m. Let me check. I'm going to be doing a social selling webinar. So we will deep dive into these subjects. 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, June 27th will be the webinar. And from there, we'll together do a 7-day challenge to get everybody used to showing up on social media. So I'm just curious, by a wave of hands or a comment or an emoji, who is interested in using social media to sell doTERRA products? I will put the link. Few of you, who wants to use social media to sell doTERRA products? And who feels daunted by using social media? Yes, can you put in the chat or just kind of speak through what some of the blocks are or daunting? What is the fear about using social media to sell? Or what is the skill that you feel you don't have And I'm going to grab looking pushy. Oh, yes. The dreaded feeling salesy. What else comes up for you when you think about using social media for selling products? Kara, you'd love to use social media. Great. We're going to go and I made an incredible PowerPoint for tomorrow. And I did this last year, or I did it in November, and I've learned a lot since November. So I've updated it all. Sarah, the time involvement and consistency needed. Yes. Kimberly, creating content and being original. These are great. What else comes up for you with social media, or what stops you from being like 100% yes and just going for it with social media? And I'm just grabbing, while you're putting that in there, grabbing the link to the webinar so you can get registered for it. And I will send out the recording. So even if you can't be on the live webinar, register so you can get the recording. Aisha, is there anything that comes up for you with social media?
Oh, so much. Yes, I put in the chat, although it came up as you, that I oftentimes feel like, everybody's doing it. So what's going to make me stand out from anybody else that's doing it so much better? Because there's so many people that are killing it, right? And that can be intimidating. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that fear of it's fear of being seen, but it's also fear of not being seen. Like, I put all this effort, and what if nothing happens? Okay, well, I'm really excited to dive in tomorrow with all of you. Yes, it's 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, but I'm in our time together. I want to talk about a couple of these things, because being original and standing out and not looking pushy all has a foundation in some of the same issues. So let's talk about that a little bit today. So first of all, I just want to tell us all that over half of the world, so 58 billion people, are on social media. So if we ever have that doubt of why should I use social media? Let's remember that we have access through social media. We have access to half of the world's population. There is no way that we could ever have access to so many people in any other way. So it is incredible, absolutely incredible. Also, the average person spends about 2 hours a day on social media. And you know what they're doing on social media? They are zoning out and trying to self-medicate. They're seeking connection. They're seeking entertainment, and they are being fed mostly negativity, mostly being sold things that they don't need. And we get to have the opportunity to be a bright light in their world and offer them a real solution that can really help. And we can offer them community and connection. So I really like to ground out in that, and knowing that we are not adding to the noise. We are actually adding to the solution. And I have this visual in my head of all these people who are in pain, whether it's from health issues, or it's loneliness, or it's loss. They're all in pain, and they're on there doing this, right? Hypnotized. And I have the ability, and you all have the ability, to be a bright light that comes through the screen and goes, hey, wake up, come be a part of my community, come learn about these oils. There is healing to be there. So that's the mindset that I'm in. I am not on social media to consume. I am not on social media to numb myself out. I am on social media to be a content creator, so that I can pull people in and out of their darkness and their pain. And when I root into that, my fears are meaningless. My concerns of being pushy or salesy go out the window. And my worry about not standing out
dissipates because I know that I am not going to stand out to everyone, but I am going to stand out to the people who were meant to meet me. And they were meant to learn about this. So when I'm posting, I'm actually thinking about that person. And sometimes there will be a client that I'm working with who I particularly feel connected to. And her set of concerns is what I'm really geared towards helping. And so every time I post, I'm thinking about her or someone like her. And I'm talking directly to her. So when my post goes out, I'm not making my post for the whole world. I'm making my post for Sarah. And I'm like actually thinking about you and everything I know about you and what we've talked about, and posting content just for you. So those are just some like mindset hacks that really help me. And you do have to be a bit of a warrior when it comes to not getting sucked into the content consumption and to the comparison and all of that. So a few things you can do for that is, first of all, anytime you're on social media and you come across somebody's profile and you start to have negative self-talk that's comparison related, unfollow them, block them, or take a break from them, which you can do in your settings. I don't follow anyone that makes me feel like shit. And I don't care who you are. If Emily Wright started posting stuff that made me feel like crap, I would actually unfriend Emily Wright. There is not a person who's immune from this. Oprah, Beyonce, anyone. Like, I have to protect my energy so much. And it's not always a them issue. Sometimes it's a me issue, but that's okay. I'm going to take care of my energy and protect myself. Also, time blocking. You're not meant to live on social media 24/7. This is, you wake up, you do your post, and maybe you check in 2 or 3 times a day, but you're not living on social media the whole time. Does anything come up after I talk about those concepts? Yeah, Aisha.
I just want to insert the reminder. I loved what you said about knowing who you're talking to, because with our oils and with our products, it's endless, right? It's like, well, there's so many things, but keep in mind that if you try to talk to everybody, you're actually talking to nobody. And if you know that you're talking to Sarah, or, you know, you think about who your avatar is, and like, think about like, what is his or her age, and what are their pain points, and what are they struggling with, and where do they want to be that they might not be, and what kind of things are they, you know, like, kind of like get in that mindset of what do I have that could serve Sarah, and even like jot that down. You know, if Sarah is your best friend, or they kind of make this avatar. So every time you're doing your post, you're being in service to Sarah. And the more that you can speak to that one person, the more your audience will actually really begin to find you.
Yes, and here's a hack to this. And sometimes this can ruffle the feathers of vulnerability and being seen. So just honor that if that comes up for you. But most often, your avatar is a version of yourself. Maybe a couple months ago, maybe a couple years ago. So think about the things that make you weird, quirky, are uniquely you, that only your best friend knows, that you would otherwise deem not professional, and bring that through in your posting. Bring that quirk through in your posting. So something for me that maybe not everybody knows about me, or I don't, you know, it's like a best friend knows it about me, is I am very sensitive and very like introverted, like I'm an extroverted introvert, very introverted. And I have these weird quirks, things like I hate it when somebody rings my doorbell. Like, it absolutely freaks me out. I totally hate it. I do not like talking on the phone. I hate talking on the phone. And I actually have overcome social anxiety, and I'm extremely attention deficit, like ADHD, neurodivergent. So I have taken to sharing memes about the side of my personality, and I do it at least once a week, maybe twice a month, where I normally would never share that about myself because I judged it to not be professional, or I judged it as a character flaw. You know, like if I was a blue diamond, I could talk on the phone because blue diamonds probably make sales calls and they talk on the phone. If I was a fully healed individual, I wouldn't have social anxiety, right? So I used to not share that stuff on social media. But what I've come to learn is those quirks and that relating that I can do actually speaks to my ideal client. And when my ideal client sees that I'm going to be open about that stuff, it makes them feel seen themselves and safer and like, oh, I can trust her. She's real. So what is your quirk? Maybe one of your quirks is you're totally into health and wellness, but you love eating popcorn and M&Ms while binging on Netflix. So don't be ashamed about it. Share it. That's actually going to attract your ideal client to you. So I would love for you to just put something in the chat that is quirky to you. Something that you maybe think is unprofessional or you shouldn't share online. Only your best friend knows. Yeah, Aisha, when someone calls instead of messaging, absolutely. That would be a great meme to share, 100%. Put something in the chat that is quirky to you, that you think maybe people shouldn't know about you if you're trying to sell something online or you're trying to be like professional. Cass, I'm a food addict. I have ADHD too. So Cass, you could make that your whole theme. Like you could just be talking about your food addiction and what you do to work with it and what products you use to help with it, but also like being transparent about what that's like, how it shows up for you. I might think of, something, and you're a health psychologist to boot. That's perfect. That is what the world is craving right now. Like, let's all take the masks off and stop lying about us being all perfectly healed. We're healing. We're on a healing journey. We're not perfectly healed. I love that, Cass. And I'd love to hear what you're doing with the oils and the products to help. Sarah, you use VR for fitness. It needs to be fun. VRs are for kids. Yes, that's great. Kara, I like to clean almost obsessively to set the space before I rest or relax. Kara, I do the same thing. I obsessively clean and I listen to a podcast. You do it too, right? And so it's like, if we can bring that forward facing and show up online, people are going to be even more attracted to us. To that same note, you don't have to have makeup on. You don't have to have your hair perfectly done. You can show up on video, messy bun, straight out of bed, and your people are going to love you for it. The people who aren't for you are going to want you to be something that you're not. And so the more we can just be truly us, the more magnetic we're going to be. Kara, I'm recently going through an ugly divorce and using that to relate to others and use my experience. Yes, perfect. And it's okay if this stuff changes. This is a season where you're going through an ugly divorce, and that's what you're talking about. And maybe that's who you're attracting. And there might be a season when something else is happening. If you're currently going through a health crisis and you're ready to talk about it, that can be really helpful to people. If you've had something happen with your mental health and you're ready to talk about it, don't force yourself, but if you're ready, that can be really helpful to people. Aisha, talking about menopause, being on the other side of divorce. All of this stuff is a great focus for you, and it informs what your content's going to be. We'll go more into this in the webinar tomorrow, but what I'm also leading to is your content doesn't have to be doTERRA related. It can be sprinkled in there, but it's actually going to be more effective if your content is kind of like the thing that pulls someone in. And once they're pulled in and they're like, hey, I like that Aisha girl. She look, it's so cool what she's talking about, thriving after divorce and menopause. Wow, that's interesting. And then as I'm pulled into her, I go, oh, what's that stuff she uses? What's that orange drink that she drinks? Oh, what's that? What's this essential oil stuff? So I'm already invested. I'm already pulled in, I already like Aisha. When she starts talking about a product, then I become curious. So I can't wait to go into this webinar with you. It's going to be really fun. Please register, please share it with anybody that might be interested in learning social selling. And we're at the top of the hour, so we should stop.
Arin,
Yeah.
quickly, Marilyn said that she went to the link and she was unable to register. Can we just make sure we have the right link in there?
Okay, yes. When I click on the link, it is totally fine. So you could try clearing your cookies. You could also go to the website, hellovisionary.life. I have it in the calendar. But
And we also have it on Facebook. We also have it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's been in the emails as well.
Can anybody else click on that link? Does it work for you?
Let me check it.
It did work for me.
Okay. And here's the Facebook group too.
Worked for me.
Worked for me.
Yeah, Cass, my rule, this is my rule just quickly. Cass is saying she's heard like when to post doTERRA, when not to post doTERRA. Personally, on my wall, my feed, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, I will do once a week, I will do a product share, like a product story, but I very, very rarely do I post like a picture of frankincense on my wall talking about what frankincense is good for. I would post a selfie of me smiling and tell a story of what frankincense did for me. But in my stories, I can sell frankincense all day long. That's my personal role and what I've learned from the people that I've trained with. But in general, the idea is don't be spammy Tammy and just post about your product all day long on your wall. In your stories, it's a different thing because people are wanting to learn from you. But on your wall, you want to post things that would grab someone's attention, obviously, who's not already in doTERRA, right? Because if we're posting about doTERRA, we're going to pull more people who are already in doTERRA. But if we're posting about fitness after 60, then you're going to attract people over 60 who want to learn about fitness. And then you can sell them products through your story. Kara said, do you have any tips today or tomorrow for people like me that give away products constantly but rarely close a sell? Yes, Kara, stop giving away products. Just stop giving away products. If people want products, they have to buy. You can certainly sample, give them an experience, but do not give away products. And we can talk more about it tomorrow. Okay, we should go. I hope everybody has a great week. Bye.
So much.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye,
so much.
everyone.
Bye,
You're
Aisha.
amazing. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.